It was early morning on the shores of Lake Gennesaret. The sky was gray, the water still, a quiet world, heavy with defeat. Simon and his fellow fishermen, seasoned men used to the rhythms of the sea, sat on the sand, exhausted. All night they'd cast their nets, and every time they pulled them up, there was nothing but tangled ropes and empty promise. Their hands were raw, their faces streaked with sweat and disappointment. The fishing was their lifeblood, how they fed their families and paid their debts. As the sun edged above the horizon, a crowd began to gather on the shore. They pressed in around a man, Jesus of Nazareth. Simon knew who he was. He'd heard rumors, stories of healings and words that burned like truth. As Jesus approached, the crowd grew thicker, pushing so close that Jesus stepped right up to Simon's boat.
Will you take me out a little from the shore?
Too tired to protest, Simon nodded. He and his friends rowed out a few lengths, and Jesus sat down, teaching the crowd from the gently rocking boat.
Put out into the deep water. Let down your nets for a catch.
Master, we have worked all night and caught nothing. But, at your word, I will let down the nets.
With aching arms, they hauled up the gear to try once more. The water seemed unchanged, the same as it had all night. But then suddenly the net tightened.
What is this?
The ropes strained as fish flooded in, wriggling and shining with life. The catch was so great the nets began to tear. Frantic, they called to their partners in the other boat. Together they hauled in fish until both boats nearly sank, overwhelmed by abundance. Shocked, Simon fell at Jesus' knees, awe and humility in his eyes.
Lord, depart from me, for I am a sinful man.
Do not be afraid. From now on, you will be catching men.
He realized he was standing in the presence of something greater than failure, greater than hard labor, something sacred. On that morning, at the end of their rope, Simon and his friends learned a lesson that echoes through centuries. Sometimes blessings come after our deepest disappointments. When hope seems lost, when the nets are empty, don't give up. Trust, try again. Let your heart be open to the impossible. Because the greatest catches often come just after the darkest nights. That morning changed everything for Simon and his friends. They had started the night with empty nets and empty hearts. But faith had turned their darkest hour into their greatest blessing. And so it is with each of us. When we reach the end of our strength, when hope seems lost, that is often when miracles begin. Never give up. Your greatest catch may be waiting in the deep.